Hello and welcome to Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi on YYC Business. Joining me today is Jackson Cornelius, who is Manager, Market and Advisory for Alberta for Urban Analytics. Thanks for joining us today, Jackson.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about a second quarter report on the multifamily home market in Calgary, from the sales perspective. We're seeing a 38% increase from the fourth quarter of, or the previous quarter. Is that right? Is it?
That's correct. Yeah.
The previous quarter. So 998 new multifamily homes sold. So condos and townhomes, highest since fourth quarter of 2015. What's happening in the market to see sales being so strong?
Yeah, I mean, it was a phenomenal quarter. I think that we were just waiting for Calgary's market to really take off, and we're still seeing this continuation of a release and pent-up demand. So it's been really great to see some areas that have already had notes of success even throughout the pandemic really sort of take off. Realistically, it's just a lot of buyers still showing urgency for new homes. And looking to move and upsize, right size, and things like that, as well as just still the relative price point, even amongst the increase in lumber prices, which is translated into a rise in multifamily home prices, has not really offset this increase in demand. So it's been great to see so far.
So tell me who's buying in the market these days?
Yeah, it's still a continuation of new home buyers or entry-level home buyers, a lot of young professionals. It's still moving towards the outer suburban communities, but there's been a big attraction of these demographics to the inner Northwest and the inner Southwest, predominantly along West 85th in West District there, as well as in the University District. But was really notable from the second quarter is the massive increase that we saw of investors coming from primarily Toronto. And I think that was the reason, because those markets are the pricing inflation is continuing to go up and up. And now they're coming here and they're buying 2, 3, 4 units at a time for the same price that you would buy one condominium in the downtown or proper metropolitan areas. So I think that's been driving a lot of demand, and in a lot of instances, they're buying for themselves. They're moving out here and then buying in, additional investor units, or they're really bullish on the rental market. So, which I don't disagree with either.
So what is the, one of the things that when you look at the real estate market, residential real estate market, one of the factors that I guess buoys that market is confidence, right? Consumer confidence. Do you think that confidence is back after a year and a bit of turmoil economically, especially through the pandemic?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I actually just pulled the statistics the other day on Alberta's Consumer Confidence Index, which increased by, I believe, over 50% from the first quarter to the second quarter, which is really reflected in this, increased level of demand for the residential market. It's not just in new multifamily homes. I think we're also seeing the spillover from the demand in just traditional residential for single family, for duplexes and resale side as well.
Yeah. So when you look at the inventory out there, Jackson, what's it like for multifamily market right now?
Yeah, I mean, both sides of the market in terms of, where you would consider one to be a buyer's market versus a seller's market. In the single family resale side, it's still vastly undersupplied, and the same goes for the multifamily side. And it calls out to developers that there is a big area for opportunity to bring new product online. But we're seeing, again, going back to that urgency amongst home buyers, a massive drawdown in move-in ready units, or what we refer to as standing inventory, decreased this quarter as well. And it was the largest decrease that we've seen, again, since around 2014, 2015.
Okay. And, we're halfway through the year, just over halfway through the year. What's the outlook for the multifamily market for sales for the rest of the next 2 quarters?
Yeah, I think it's quite positive. I use the word bullish sparingly and cautiously, but I'm definitely leaning that direction. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I can see that this is going to be slightly sustained at least for the next 2 quarters. So again, as long as the supply and demand metrics and the way it's balancing out right now continue on, then there's still going to maintain that upward pressure on prices. And that means that as new supply comes online on both sides of the market, that they're going to be efficiently absorbed. You're seeing days on market, continually decline, and yeah, I think it's very, very positive, and we're really looking forward to what's coming next in the next few months here.
All right, super. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
That was Jackson Cornelius, who is Manager, Market and Advisory for Alberta for Urban Analytics. This has been Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi on YYC Business. Thanks for joining us today.